All right, we are back. It's Erica and Cynthia with our All Things Ayurveda.
Yes, good morning.
Good
I-
morning.
I'm excited to talk about this because this is something I have needed in my life, which is an accountability partner and a program. And I think we were talking the other day. I was doing Noom, and it's actually just making you think about the way you eat and the way you interact with food, but you still make all your own food choices and things because I actually know this stuff. And I did lose almost 10 pounds of the 20. But then my dad had a knee surgery, and I am definitely an emotional eater. I was so worried because I do a lot of my parents' care. And I had to check on them 4 times a day. I mean, it's a lot,
Yeah.
and I was just so tired and emotionally burnt out. It just has crept back on, and I got out of my routine of going to the gym and doing the things. And so I really am excited about our reset.
Yeah, same here. I never realized how much I either like stress eat or comfort eat, or if I'm bored, it I do. It's like a thing. Like I'm sitting around and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything. What sounds good?
Yep.
I tend to do that. But well, what is that thing called that you said you did?
It's an app. It's called
Oh,
Noom, and it's built by like psychologists. And
mm,
it's just simple. You just do a listening piece every day. You log your food, and it's just kind of helps you remember to keep your routine essentially
mm,
and to be accountable, make better choices. And it really did work.
yeah.
It took me about 3 I mean, similar to you, I have a lot of kapha, and I've always kind of been an easy to gainer weight person, but so when I was younger, I could actually lose it fairly easy. It took me about 2 to 3 months to lose the 10 pounds, but I did it during November and December, which are kind of traditionally really hard months to lose weight because of all the parties. And
Oh, yeah.
both of our families have a lot of family parties. And I did it, and people every time I go to a family party, they'd be like, wow, you're doing it, like you're losing weight, this is amazing. And
Yeah.
I was feeling so good about it.
Yeah. So now we're gonna reset, reset that, get back on track. Yeah.
Exactly. Getting back on track. I love it. So I was going to say, maybe I should walk us through the morning routine, and then we can switch over to you talking about the herbs that we're going to do. And then I created like a 1 day, like what I'll eat on Monday.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. It's good to give
Okay.
examples for sure. Give people ideas on what to eat, and yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. So the first thing is you want to ideally wake up before 6 a.m. That's probably not going to happen for me on Monday, but you know what? Baby steps. I can kind of commit to about 7 a.m.
Yep. Same.
And and then what I tell clients to do is, set your alarm 10 minutes back each week, and eventually you'll get to 6 a.m. So I'm going to actually try to do what I tell people to do almost every day at work.
Yeah.
And so I wake up, I'm going to, rinse your face, scrape your tongue with a copper scraper. And the copper is important because it's reduces inflammation. So it's touching your skin. That's why a lot of Ayurvedic practitioners will even drink that first cup of water in the morning with lemon or just by itself out of a copper vessel that's set overnight, because copper just has so many amazing benefits, but most importantly, reducing inflammation. That's why I remember when you put the Kanzo on my face and
Yeah.
it turned gray, it will do that if you have a lot of inflammation.
Yes. Yeah. I
So
for that.
yeah, I'm like, I still use it, the one you gave me, which I love and my clients love, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I use it every time I do an Abhyanga, and I am still the only person to this day that had so much inflammation that
No, it's crazy. Like, not trying to put you on the spot, but yeah, I do numerous clients, facials, and I've never seen
so much.
the
Yeah.
inflammation on, yeah, that
On
was,
the upside, I will say though, it's reduced significantly. So that's good
yeah, that's good for
when I
sure.
use it. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna scrape my tongue with a copper scraper, and then I'm gonna drink you know, hot to warm lemon water, just half a lemon squeezed in there. And then I usually would do either yoga, and I teach a kundalini yoga so I can focus on specific organs. So I usually do something like that, like a 40, something I'm doing each day. We
Mm.
do these 40-day kriyas so you can really focus on an organ, or any kind of flow. Sometimes I just do a lot of stretching because, I notice the tightness in my body just from sleeping these
Yeah.
days. Um, and then I would get into the shower. I'd put on some Maharaina oil, and I do dry brushing with that. So I brush up with a brush that we can, send a picture of, but it's basically just an oval brush.
Mhm.
And it's kind of hard at first, but it does break down. And then brushing up to the kidneys, I do my sides and my armpits, all the lymph nodes to get them stimulated, my arms, all headed toward the kidneys. And so I do that. And then from there, I would go into the herbs. So go ahead, and why don't you talk about that?
Okay. So with the first phase, the first week of our detox, it's the detoxification phase. So there are two things we're going to do. First is it's a detox green powder, and that is a blend of it's dandelion greens, which detoxes the liver, moringa, amalaki, which is loaded with antioxidants. It's good for supporting eye health, papaya leaves for immunity, and it's also stimulating to the gut health. It has enzymes, chlorella, spirulina, which helps facilitate better blood, and prana, the life force energy. And it also has turmeric that stimulates, it's anti-inflammatory. So that's one of the powders that you'll be drinking in the morning. And then the supplement taken on the first week is trifalagugalu, which helps to remove toxins. It supports, the blood flow, the colon, gut immunity, all that good stuff. It's very scraping of ama and kapha, which is what we need. So the second week, and yeah, so the second week will be the detox phase. Um, have you done any with the first week? Have you've done the detox powder, right? How
I have, and I'm going to slightly spice mine up a little bit because in order for me to get through the kapha diet, I have to add hot sauce to a
oh,
lot of food because I like sauce. I like moist, warm, spicy food. And so what I'm going to do the detox powder, but I add um just a shot of the aloe vera inner fillet
oh,
to
okay.
the other shot of water.
Oh, that
And
sounds good.
yeah, because it has a minor laxative effect, which will also detox you, but it also cools and heals the system. And like we said earlier, I've always had a lot of inflammation in my body. And so I've been prone to acid reflux and like ulcers in the digestive tract. And so that aloe vera really coats everything and it heals just like it would heal a burn on your skin. It
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
heals
try that. That's
burns
good.
inside. Yeah, I get a lot of great results from it. It feels good. So I'm gonna do that with the detox powder, but I'm a huge fan of Trifla Googaloo. It it's a
Yeah,
great reset. Yeah.
yeah. So all right, and then on to week two, we have two capsules, or two different capsules you're going to be taking, as well as a powder. It's called CCCFT. So the powder is to keep your gut running smoothly. It's an herbal concoction. It's cardamom, coriander, fennel, and turmeric. Wait, cumin. Wait, did I say all three of them? Because it cumin, coriander, cardamom, and fennel and turmeric. So yeah, and then the healthy metabolism. This is it's post digestive, and it helps manages your metabolic rate. It's good for your gut bacteria and microbiome, And then the healthy digestion is a pre-digestive formula that helps balance the gut secretions. It's a liver tonic, and it has licorice with which is strengthening the gut lining. So this is the metabolism phase, week 2. Um, yeah. So you have anything to say on week 2?
No, I mean, that sounds great. I haven't taken that ratio, so I'm excited to see how that works for me. Since I do tend to have a lot of energy, I can feel when I take one healthy
Oh, the
metabolism.
metabolism. Yeah,
So
I've
I'm
heard that for some people. So I think people that have more, are you more sensitive to coffee or no?
I am,
Yeah, so
and
I probably maybe people that are more sensitive, we can go off that. They can do 1 capsule instead of 2 of the healthy metabolism.
yeah, and then boost up to 2 because I've just never done that, but I feel like I've also not been able to lose weight. So maybe I just need a little extra boost. So I'm definitely going to start with 1, but maybe go up to 2 quickly.
Yeah, and then the CCCFT, I've had a great experience with that with my stomach. I feel like the bloating goes away. My stomach just feels flatter, and you can kind of drink that throughout the day. It's really good. It's mild. It doesn't taste bad. So that's a really good one for your digestion.
Mhm.
And then we have week 3, which this is the rejuvenation phase. And basically, we're kind of going back. We're nourishing the body since we've done all the detoxing and gotten the gut lining better. So, phase 3, you'll be taking a capsule called ashwamaka. So, the ashwagandha is an adaptogen. It's gonna, the properties are it energizes your cells, it's good for your immunity, it just improves general function. It helps with sleep and it keeps your hormones regulated. And then, yeah, and then we'll add some golden milk to drink at night, which turmeric is anti-inflammatory, and it's just very nourishing and good for the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna add a day of food that I've kind of prepped because I think, prepping is everything and making sure you have things that you actually wanna eat, and when I was surfing through the Kapha diet, I was like, "Oh, well, this makes exact sense as to why I don't lose weight," because there's a lot of things on there I don't wanna eat, or I don't think I like to eat, or just things I like to eat more. So,
Yeah.
um it's really important that you like what you're eating to me because I love eating. So I'm on a gluten-free diet just because of my inflammation issues. Um, and I want to stay that way because I feel the best when I do that. And so for me, in the morning, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to have yogurt, a plain yogurt. Um, it says to dilute it a bit, which, I'm not going to eat that much of it, but I'm going to make a stewed apple with cinnamon, cardamom, vanilla. And then I also have some flax seed oil I like to put on things. And you can use honey on the kapha pacifying diet.
So
I have
with
go
your
ahead.
yogurt, do you add any spices to it to kind of help? Because I know yogurt can be kind of kapha inducing when it's not diluted, but is
Yes.
diluting's enough, I guess you would say, right? I know
Well, I'm going to
sometimes
put
people
this
put a
stewed apples on there that are gonna have the cinnamon, cardamom, vanilla, and a little bit of liquid. And so I can my own apples, so I know that they're organic. So I have luckily a lot of stewed apples already, but you can make a big pot of them in your crock pot. And then that way, I only need to add about a half a cup of yogurt. And
yeah,
then I can add most of it, the apple. And so I'm not doing too much of something I shouldn't be doing.
yeah, no, for sure, that's good because I know a lot of people they'll just eat yogurt, like a just cold and put like granola or like cold berries on it. So in Ayurveda, it is very what you put on it or how you eat it is very crucial to how you digest it. So
Yes, and with the warm on top of it, it won't be cold anymore. And
sure.
then on top of it, you have to use the unsweetened yogurt that is just yogurt. You'd be shocked at how many um my partner's a type 1 diabetic, and so we always have to look at the carbs and the sugars on all the foods, and just yogurt is a bomb,
Oh,
if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's true.
So we always get the big Costco, organic,
One
unsweetened.
or
Hmm.
yeah, I have that right now in my fridge. I haven't used it yet though. I'm gonna
Yeah, it
put it
lasts
in here.
forever.
Yeah.
So it's affordable. Um, so what I'm gonna do, oh, I also forgot to tell you that I also, when I'm not doing yoga, a great exercise for your daily routine is walking. I'm a huge walking advocate. I love to listen to a inspiring podcasts like ours. Or there's lots of other ones in my library that I love to listen to and go for a walk. And the next thing you know, you walked 30 minutes. Or I'm also in a book club and I listen to the Audible version so I can,
Yeah.
kind of do two things at once, even though you probably shouldn't ayurvedically be doing that, but we
Yeah.
all have
I do the same thing. That's so funny. Both of
limited
them.
time. Um,
Yeah, I want to say it's funny because now that I'm promoting, our 3-week detox, I've gotten a few people saying wanting to start little walking clubs. So I think that's
mm.
amazing. And yeah, I think walking is so beneficial.
Well, and also there's so many studies now on loneliness. And when you're in these, one of the reasons I moved back to Oregon is because I'm from here and I have such a network of even girlfriends from high school. Girlfriends I've known my literally entire life because our parents were friends. Even my partner, our parents were friends
Hmm.
before we were even born. So, um, so a lot of these friendships, they have been so amazing during COVID for me. And for unfortunately, people don't have those. So these walking clubs or book clubs, these ways of connecting in real life
Hmm.
and just having a conversation. They say it's if you don't have that, it's the equivalent of smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. It's
Wow.
significant.
Yeah,
So
it's important for sure.
you have to have a support network for anything. Um, so back to my lunch.
Oh yeah.
Um, I wanted to tell you that you can have a little bit of shrimp. I am watching my cholesterol, but I
Mhm.
can have a little bit of shrimp that I'm gonna put cook up in ghee. I love black beans, one of the healthiest foods in the world. I'm gonna have that. I love cilantro, great remover of heavy
Too.
metals. I do that on a corn tortilla. Or also there's these ones from Costco, those siete.
Oh, I need
Um,
to try those. I
yeah,
have
it's
so
it's
many
an
great.
almond tortilla and they're delicious. I use those sometimes too, and they crisp up really nicely.
Ooh.
Um, and then I have this hot sauce I got when I went to St. Lucia. I'm gonna send you so you can put it in the link. But
Okay.
it's really good. There is salt in there, which we're trying to avoid, but it's like the third or fourth, ingredient. But everything else in there looks pretty good. It's kind of a mustard base hot sauce, but it's
Oh,
spicy. It's
perfect.
tasty. So I'm gonna use that and make these shrimp tacos essentially. Um, and then for dinner, we have a thing in Oregon called Yumm Bowl. Have you ever heard of a Yumm Bowl?
Mm-mm. What's that?
Okay. It's delicious. You basically make it, you can make brown or basmati rice. With
Mm,
the kapha diet, I think it's basmati rice is probably best.
yeah.
And you mix in either black beans or pinto beans. Um, I'm gonna put some stewed tomatoes that are cooked. You can have tomato if it's cooked.
Mm,
And I can my own tomatoes. So I have them, they're organic, they're already stewed. I'm going to heat those up with some jalapenos, put it over the top with sunflower seeds. And then there is an actual yum sauce, which I'll send you. They do make it, however, with canola oil and there's soybean in it, which are
mm.
technically not great for kapha, but man, this sauce is good. So maybe as a little treat, put that on there. And of course, I don't know if I mentioned cilantro again. I love cilantro. And if you don't want to do the yum sauce, though, you could just add a salsa or a hot sauce, that you can make easily. And so that's kind of my breakfast, lunch, and dinner routine plan that I'll probably use a lot because I really enjoy all of those foods. And I think the important thing is enjoying it.
Mhm.
And then I have some snacks that are okay. Cottage cheese, preferably from goat, but I've never seen that in my life. So I'll probably have to just go small dose on um cottage cheese. And then I have these flaxseed crackers, which you can eat goat cheese.
Mm.
So a lot of people they don't like goat cheese. My mom won't eat it no matter what, but
Yeah.
you can kind of wade into it slowly. I think it's called the drunken goat, and it's half cow, half goat cheese. And my mom can't taste the difference, so I always give it to her. And
So she or she doesn't know.
yes. And then even some types of feta have sheep and goat mixed,
Mm,
which is a really good idea. And you can have hummus if you make it yourself
mm.
because chickpeas are allowed. You just got to be careful with the oils and whatnot. And I've even thought of trying to use different thickeners like blending the cottage cheese or,
Oh
the
yeah.
feta with it as the thickener rather than the oils.
Well, the I know I use when I make hummus tahini. Do you ever use that?
You do, but it's on the no-no list for the
Oh,
Kapha diet.
that's right. Yeah. Hmm.
That's why tahini is delicious.
Okay.
And
Makes
the
sense.
other,
Makes sense.
yeah, the other thing I thought too was bean dip, because you can have so many types of beans.
Oh
You could
yeah.
you could make some really tasty bean dip, actually.
Oh, and I've heard of people making beet hummus. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Beet. So maybe we could look into that. That sounds
Oh
fun.
yeah.
I love beets if they're cooked properly.
I love beets as well. They're
I know
so
some
good for
people
you.
don't. They're like, oh, it beets taste like dirt. And I'm like, well, you haven't had them fresh or properly. Because my mom has a friend, she has the best beets in her garden. And I think she just boils them and makes a salad with like cucumber. It's a very cooling salad. And she doesn't put much on it. And that you could just taste the beets and they're amazing. They're so good.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I even used the beet greens last time. I
Okay.
baked beets, which was last week.
Mhm.
I thinly slice them, and then you can bake them with, there is a hard goat cheese that's like Parmesan that you can use that's kapha pacifying, and just a light amount, and it's
So that's a
delicious.
recipe we got to put on our show notes or
Yes.
for people to, because yeah, beets are amazing.
Yeah, and then I used the greens afterwards and made these sautéed greens. They were delicious, and I put them in my tacos.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the one other thing too, I wanted to say, first of all, even if you're not crazy about goat cheese, if you Google it, and it's half the what upsets people's stomach is the lactose, and it's half of that. Um, it's also super probiotic. It's so good for your gut health. It's
Yeah.
half the calories. It's just an amazing thing to incorporate into your diet. So if you could just baby step your way into it, it really has so many beneficial um qualities. The other thing I wanted to add too is raita. So there's different types of raita. We'll add a recipe for it, but I'm a huge raita fan, which you could do like I used to do when I would go running, and when it gets really warm, I'll go running and I'll make a half a cup of yogurt blended with a cup of water. And
Mhm.
then I add cumin, which is kapha pacifying, black pepper, a
Yeah.
little bit of Himalayan salt, and you blend that, and it's just, to me, it's delicious. It's so refreshing.
Yeah. So good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I need to start making that because I did like that when we'd go to the Rajdhani or what was that place called we used to eat at and they'd always give it to us. So
Yeah, I have no idea what the name of that restaurant is, and I've been there so many
I know.
times.
I think it's like Rajdhani or I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong because but yeah, that place. So amazing.
That's a great place. We got to go there next time I'm in California. I miss that.
I want to get Italy too. I never have anybody to go with, but I have to go all the way to Cerritos because they don't have any Southern Indian around my area. It's all, you know,
Yes, we
so.
need to revisit that. I've actually bought it. We have an Indian market here where I can get bitter melon, organic bitter melon,
Oh, nice.
and the idli mix.
Oh,
Although I keep chickening out on how to cook it. And so I'm going to step up, since now I really got to pull it together for this diet.
yeah, you do because you got to figure out how to make it. I know it. I think you got to make it a few times to kind of get the right, perfect, like not consistency because it's kind of fermented, right? Like I feel like
Yes.
there's a step to it that we have to.
You use yogurt, use curd.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, we need to do that and figure out how to make it bomb.
Yeah, I mean, waking up in India, first of all, the chai. There's
Yeah.
the new, I think it's in LA, this new chai food truck that you're gonna have to check out for us. But it's these guys that loved the chai in India and they were like, we got to recreate this. And it might not be LA, but I thought it was. But
Probably.
yeah, that might be good to track down because man, I used to wake up in India and like that chai was so good.
Yeah,
And then have
nothing
the
compared to
idli,
chai in India for sure.
ugh, amaze.
Yeah.
So that's my Monday plan, which we can put in the notes to inspire people because I don't think that's too exotic of a diet.
No, I think that's good, and I think it'll get people. I mean, you have everything that people like, it's not too like bland or, you're you're following a diet, but still it's fun. It's not boring.
Yeah. And I'm sure we know people who are listening. I mean, I have a lot of friends that are good cooks in Oregon and, you know, send us some good ideas with the kapha diet and we can try it and they, if they like it and they find something good, like I love sharing recipes and building, my cooking repertoire.
Yeah, for sure. Because the kapha diet, it'll show you all different types of things you can use, and everyone can kind of experiment, including us, and then we can share what's good and what works. So
Mhm.
all
And
over to
give
that. Yeah.
feedback.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. I really do. And it's fun. It's fun to try new things and I mean, I just crack myself up sometimes with like my Pinterest fails. I'm like, "Oh wow." Like I
Yeah.
was in charge of desserts this year for Thanksgiving and that won't happen again.
Oh no.
Um
What happened?
my pumpkin pie did not sit up
Oh.
and it was, you know,
Yeah.
challenging.
But yeah. Okay. Well, we need to wrap it up. We got 2 minutes left. So
Yeah, any last minute advice you have for people starting our detox?
just, I feel like you just have to be kind of mentally prepare yourself, go through everything, look to see, what you'll be doing for the week. That's what I do. Like I kind of like to prepare myself. I think that's the best thing, just to kind of mentally and physically, so you're ready to change up everything. And if you feel like there's something that's hard for you, try to come up with something alternative, like for me, some of the Ayurvedic diets I've done where everything is just like soups and stuff, like I can't get a crunch. So if I really had a craving, I would have like one carrot, like the baby carrots, because I'm like, that's healthy, but at least I get the crunch out, even though it might not
Mhm.
satisfy me completely, but just do things that'll help you out.
Yeah. Yeah, we can get really I miss the crunch as well, so that's important. That's why I found those flaxseed crackers, and they're pretty
Mhm.
good just by themselves, actually. The other thing I would recommend too is journaling, because once you do it, you could do it again and again. You'll have enough herbs left over. You'll know the diet. It'll be easier and easier every 3 weeks you do it. And that's what I'm gonna try to do until I really get to my goal weight, which is about 20 pounds. It's exactly 20 pounds less than what I weigh right now. And a lot of times I like to read back through my journals because I'll be like, man, this is getting tough, and then I'll read back and I'll be like, oh, okay, it was tough.
Yeah.
That's
No, yeah,
okay.
journaling is perfect because it'll remind you. You can always go back and you can see like, oh, okay, yeah, certain things that were tough, and then you can kind of work through them. So,
I love it.
all right,
All right, girl. Well, I'm excited to get started on Monday.
me too. So we'll see you next time.
Keep you
All right.
posted.
Yeah, keep you posted. Bye.
Bye.